outpost. Ball up.
Good morning. My name is Noel Beignet, and I am an Edmonton firefighter and the chairman of the Edmonton Firefighters Memorial Society. September 11th, 2001. It was 20 years ago today that we watched as the events of September 11th unfolded. The world mourned at the catastrophic loss of 2,753 lives lost. Amongst those, our profession had the largest single loss in its history, with 343 firefighters killed in the line of duty, along with 23 police officers and 8 EMT paramedics. It's because of those losses we have chosen to honor our own fire service members, both active and retired, on this revered day. This morning, we would like to thank our guests. From the City of Edmonton, Mayor Iveson. Our City Manager, Andre Corbold. Deputy City Manager of Citizen Services, Rob Smythe. Our Edmonton City Councillors, Mike Nickel, Andrew Knack, Ben Henderson, Scott McKean, Michael Walters, Tim Cartmel, Tony Caterina. From the provincial government, Rachel Notley, a member of the MLA for Edmonton Strathcona. From our federal government, Heather McPherson, MP for Edmonton Strathcona. From Fire Rescue Services, Acting Fire Chief Brad Kittiak. From Alberta Health Services, Associate Executive Director of EMS, Graham McAllister. And from the Edmonton Police Service, Acting Police Chief Kevin Brzezinski. From the Edmonton Firefighters Union, President Greg Raymond and First Vice President Cole Chapelski. From the Edmonton Firefighters Retirees Brigade, Retired District Chief Pat Martin and Retired District Chief Don Chernosky, as well as our City Chaplain, Reverend John Dowds. I would now like to invite our Mayor Don Iveson to say a few words on behalf of the City of Edmonton.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be with you one last time as your mayor at this important event. On this day of remembrance, it brings me deep gratitude and a sense of reverence on behalf of all Edmontonians for the dedicated firefighters who we are honoring today, and their many decades of service and their sacrifice. As you heard, I'm joined today by most of Edmonton City Council. And that's, I'm pleased to say, with this event, usually the case even in non-election years. Because every single one of us on City Council has tremendous admiration for all of our public servants, but particularly our first responders who run into the fire. And tremendous respect for the families who support them every day in that work. That's why so many of us are so consistently here at this event every year. Now, I know that today many are remembering that terrible day 20 years ago when the unthinkable happened, when the Twin Towers fell and changed our world. 9/11 should never be forgotten. And so we join the rest of the world in prayers for peace and for healing and for comfort this difficult time. And at the same time, this is such an important moment for us as a city and as a community to feel connected to each other, and to focus on the heroes in our own midst. Indeed, I've reflected a lot over the last year as we've all felt the strains of the pandemic in our world and in our community. And mental health has only been as fraught twice in my lifetime. Once around 9/11 in the aftermath, and particularly so for firefighters and their families and first responders who were all wounded by what happened that day. But we are all struggling. In light of the challenges and the stresses we have faced as a people in the midst of this pandemic. And yet, every day, our frontline workers, and particularly our first responders, have bravely gone back to work, saving lives at even higher risk to themselves than normal. And so our care and attention to their welfare and our respect for their craft and our gratitude for the families that support them is as important now as it has ever been. Indeed, it's an important time to come together to remember and celebrate the gifts and the sacrifices, particularly, and the cumulative service of those who were our family and our friends, and of course, our neighbors in this city. And so it is an appropriate time for us to pause and reflect on how precious and fragile life can be. How much we depend on each and every day on the women and men in our own community who have found their life's calling in protecting and serving each of us. So heartfelt thank you to the Edmonton Firefighters Memorial Society for understanding how important this is to all of us, and particularly for their leadership and efforts in dutifully bringing us here today and every year. Friends, this past year and a half have taken a toll. As the pandemic tore at the fabric of our lives and community, it separated us too from the presence and the comfort of others during difficult times. And it interrupted our rituals that help us to grieve and to cope and to heal, which is so important to our collective and individual mental well-being. So for many of you, today is an opportunity, perhaps the first opportunity, to gather and also to say goodbye. And each of us, on behalf of all the Edmontonians who are here, are so honored to share in this important and meaningful moment with those of you who are marking the loss of a loved one. As a community, we stand with you as you remember and mourn those you loved, the people you built full lives and memories with, partners, parents, children, siblings, best friends, or brothers and sisters on the job. We stand with you and we give thanks for these lives well lived, for those who gave so much to so many and found meaning and purpose every day in their contributions, saving and changing lives with their skill and action and their gifts of courage and compassion and comfort, bringing safety and security to the streets of our city and enriching our community as leaders and as volunteers and as role models. As the bell tolls and their names are read, as the last alarm sounds, may you find comfort in the legacy they leave and the gratitude and thanks of those they served. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Iveson. I would now like to call upon Member of Parliament for Edmonton Strathcona, Heather McPherson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for allowing me to be with you today as well. I also want to, of course, thank the members of the Memorial Committee for their incredible work bringing us together and on this very, very important day. I want to thank them for creating and maintaining this plaza, which serves as a beautiful reminder of the service and sacrifice of firefighters and their families. A reminder for the thousands of people who pass by here every day. I want to thank you for making this day, this important day to remember, this day a day to treasure the lives of our fallen heroes and to commemorate their service to us and to all of us, to all of those who've benefited. Thank you for supporting their families, for recognizing that the sacrifice is not theirs alone, that the ultimate gift to the world was not a moment, but rather millions of moments lost, shared by so many who loved and admired them, who are now left to mourn their loss forever. Thank you for making sure that they are not alone today. As a parliamentarian, I speak often about leadership and about how actions are more meaningful than words. And I, like others, use words like fight and protect, words like serve and honor. But I stand humbled before you today, all of you in uniform, knowing that you face so much more every day than I can possibly comprehend. Knowing that you live these principles of serve and honor every day. Knowing that you are, in fact, the embodiment of service and sacrifice. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for going out every day and putting your lives on the line for us. And thank you for honoring all of those that we have lost. Thank you very much.
With our next speaker, I'd now like to call upon the member of the Legislative Assembly for Edmonton Strathcona, Rachel Notley.
Thank you very much, and thank you everybody for coming today to join with us here on the traditional territory of Treaty 6 and to join with us in recognizing the Métis people of Alberta who share a very deep connection with this land. On behalf of the entire Legislative Assembly of Alberta, it is such an honor for me to be here to join with you to pay our respects to the Edmonton Fire Rescue members who have passed away in the last year, and indeed to all of those who have made that ultimate sacrifice. Of course, it's also September 11th, and as this year, as we mark the 20 years since we saw the terrible attacks in New York and Washington, we all remember that moment. Personally, I won't ever forget getting ready for work and just turning on the TV and watching that tragedy unfold. I was in shock, as I'm sure so many of you were too. And there's no denying that September 11th changed the world in so many ways, geopolitical to economic. But what I remember most, even now, is the true bravery of all those firefighters, those police officers, those first responders who acted to save lives, even if it meant sacrificing their own, which in so many cases it did. Today, even as we mourn those we lost, we are reminded, though, that democracy and community must always persevere. And we are able to do that because of the service of front-line responders, like the brave firefighters we are here today to honor. Firefighters are the public service in the most purest of ways. You put yourselves in danger for the sake of our kids, our loved ones, our parents, and our grandparents. People who mean the world to someone, but may well be total strangers to you. And the threats aren't limited to the minutes or hours when a fire is raging. You signed up for one of the most dangerous professions in the world. And the hazards we know can last a lifetime. You're not just braving the flames or the emergency, but frankly, also the consequences of that courage. And the effects, whether physical or mental, can take years to show up. These effects are ones that we've worked very hard to stand with you as you work to overcome them, and we will continue to do that. Every single person who steps forward to do this, whether you're serving full-time, part-time, or volunteering, is a hero. Whether we're talking 9/11, whether we're talking Fort McMurray, whether we're talking COVID, the fact is that you are often the last line of defense for people throughout our community, and we owe you an incredible level of gratitude, not just in the moment, but every day. Our deepest gratitude goes out, therefore, to every one of Edmonton's firefighters, past and present. And I'd also like to take a moment as well to thank all of the family members who are here today. You know that as your loved one made a commitment to live their life in service, you too ended up making a commitment to serve them as they do that, to support them. And through that, you are an incredible member and contributor to our community. And I think that sometimes we forget how hard that can be, the unpredictability of knowing what will happen when your loved one goes to work and when they come home and when they'll have to leave again. You know, strangely, just today, I was walking over to this event and I passed a fire truck, and about a block ahead of me was a crew that was walking over here to, I think, be part of this event. And then suddenly I heard a little beep, and in perfect unison, they turned around and they ran back to the fire truck, also in perfect unison. And they jumped in, the sirens went off, and off they went to respond to an emergency. That's the unpredictability. That's living in a state of being ready to serve your fellow community members. And that's what I know each of you and your families have lived with. So from all of us, I really, truly want to thank you for the contributions that each of you have made. Finally, thank you to those who organize this event every year. It's so important for all of us to be able to come together in crisis and in good times to share our gratitude. And that's what we are doing today. So thank you very much.
Next up, from Edmonton Fire Rescue, Acting Chief Brad Kittiak.
Morning, and thank you, Noel. I'd first like to welcome and acknowledge members of Parliament and of Alberta's legislature, Mayor Iveson, City Councillors, City Manager Andre Corbeau, Deputy City Manager Rob Smythe, Acting Police Chief Kevin Brzezinski, EMS Executive Director Graham McAllister, Edmonton Firefighters Union President Greg Riemann, City Chaplain John Dowds, fellow Deputy Chiefs, fire personnel, and emergency service providers, and to all the family and friends and citizens who are in attendance. Thank you for joining us today at the Firefighters Memorial Plaza. It is our honor to have you all here. Fire Chief Joe Zatilny was unfortunately unable to attend today's ceremony as he is currently in isolation. But he sends his deepest regrets and thoughts to all on this very important day. This has been a challenging time for all of us, navigating the pandemic while continuing to respect health and safety guidelines in an effort to keep our community safe. Which is why a heartfelt thank you is in order for everyone who braved and is present here today. Today is a very important day for our service. It is a day where we remember our fallen and take time to reflect. It is also the 20th anniversary of the attacks on the World Trade Center in New York, the greatest single loss of life for firefighters in one single day. As such, we recognize this day in solidarity with the international fire service community. Every day, our firefighters undertake a mission to make Edmonton a safer place to live, work, and play through the protection of life, property, and the environment. The career chosen is rewarding, meaningful, an endeavor of such a magnitude on a personal, professional, and community level that is unmeasurable, but it is also demanding, one with many inherent risks and dangers. Unfortunately, and despite taking every effort to make the job as safe as possible, there are times when these risks can result in the tragic loss of a firefighter's life. Whether from a single catastrophic event on the emergency scene or from repeated multiple exposures one endures over a career, occupational illness, sometimes physical, sometimes mental, is far too common. And again, that is why we're here today, to honor our local firefighters who have made the ultimate sacrifice in serving their community and, sadly, the giving of their lives in the line of duty. Today is the day to celebrate the courage and the lives of our firefighters who have put citizens' well-being and the safety of them ahead of their own. Their sacrifices inspire us as we continue to commit ourselves as wholly to that mission. We embrace this opportunity to reflect on our own past and history, which is why I want and we need to acknowledge both the retired and active Edmonton firefighters who have passed away this last year. They were instrumental in helping shape Edmonton Fire Rescue into the fine organization it continues to be today. To all of you who have lost, we pay our humble respects. To the family and friends of these firefighters, I want you to know that our thoughts are with you, and I assure you we will never forget the dedication, service, and friendship of your loved ones. We also remember and respect the members of the Canadian military, our police, and EMS services who too have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving Canadians over the past year. We extend our gratitude and appreciation to the Firefighters Memorial Society for organizing today's event and for their ongoing work to help Edmonton remember and honor our fallen. Finally, I'd like to send a special thank you to all members of the public who came today to show their respect. Your support of EFRS and the members who serve and who have served does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Our last speaker is from the Edmonton Firefighters Union, Union President Greg Raymond.
Good morning. The Edmonton Firefighters Union would like to welcome all dignitaries, fellow firefighters, emergency responders, families, friends, and the public to our event today. Today is a day of remembrance for our city, and we gather here to pay respects to our fallen firefighters. They are heroes who dedicated their lives to protect this city and its citizens. On this 20th anniversary of 9/11, the loss of 343 firefighters in New York reminds us of our common humanity and the absolute obligation to honor, support, and care for each other. The loss of those firefighters from September 11th continues to this day. Tragically, and there are 273 have succumbed to occupational disease as a result of the exposures in the days, weeks, months following the fall of the Twin Towers. Line of duty deaths are recognized whether they occur from traumatic events, occupational diseases, or post-traumatic stress injuries that are a result of our firefighters doing their duties. The safety of our brave men and women who uphold the citizens of Edmonton can unfortunately come at a price. a price that the loved ones know all too well. Our hearts are filled with profound sadness again today, but they are also filled with great pride as we remember our own brave firefighters, including those who gave the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty and have gone before us. We remember the families left behind to carry the burden of sorrow as they have shown courage of their own. To the friends and families of those who we remember here today, words cannot repay the debt of gratitude we owe to you and to your loved ones. We recognize your sacrifice and we thank you. You have given more than was ever expected of anyone. I'm truly honored to stand here with you as a fellow firefighter as we pay tribute and respect to our fallen heroes. We are strong in spirit, celebrating their lives, honoring their service, while continuing to do our jobs to the best of our abilities. In honor of those that have passed before us, we acknowledge the challenge we face each day and vow to continue to serve the citizens of Edmonton with respect and integrity. I commend the work and efforts of the Edmonton Firefighters Memorial Society in their outstanding efforts and dedication preserving the memory of our heroes and the organization of today's events. The best tribute we can pay to our fallen firefighters is to promise in their memory that we will never stop fighting to improve the safety of the public and that of our own firefighters. We can approach the future with hope and optimism because of you, our firefighters. They're defined by caring, courage of the work they do, and the integrity of their conduct and compassion. As we stand here today with the names of those gone before us inscribed into this memorial site, we reflect on all the selfless acts of courage and duty. All that visit this memorial and read the names of the lost, and to the families of those who have fallen, this site forever pays a tribute that they will always be remembered and never forgotten. Thank you.
Drum Major Adams to the center. Our Edmonton firefighters' pipes and drums take a great deal of pride in leading the march in all of our parades. The drum major leading the parade carries a mace that not only helps him communicate movement and musical cues for the band, but now holds a greater meaning for all of us. The mace is one of a kind, made specifically for Edmonton and our firefighters. This mace honors the members we have lost in the line of duty as their names are written on a scroll and it's placed in the head of the mace. We will always have our fallen front and center, proudly leading the parade and our members. Thank you, Drum Major. The history of the fire service is long and rich and full of traditions, such as the one you just saw. In the past, as firefighters began their tour of duty, it was the ringing of the bell that signaled the beginning of that day's shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which summoned those brave souls to fight fires and place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow citizen. And when the fire was out and the alarm had come to an end, it was the bell that signaled to all the completion of that call. When a firefighter had died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it was a mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. To symbolize the devotion that these brave souls had for their duty, a special signal of 3 rings, which represents the ends of our comrades' duties and that they will be returning to quarters. We utilize these traditions as symbols, which reflect honor and respect on those who have given so much and have served so well. And so, to those that have selflessly given their lives for the good of their fellow man, their tasks completed, their duties well done. To our comrades, their last alarm, they are going home. I would now like to call upon retired Station Captain Rob Cavell to read the names of the active and retired firefighters who have passed away and we have not been able to recognize due to COVID-19 since September 11th, 2019. The bell will be rung one time after each name by a family member or a member of the Memorial Society. After each member has been recognized, retired Captain Cavell will also read the names of those firefighters that have been lost in the line of duty.
Our members who we have lost. August 2nd, 2019, Jack Wozni. Ringing the bell will be his daughter Ashley. Accepting the flag will be his widow Sheila. Presenting the flag, retired Captain Fire Investigator Ed Rostalski, retired Chief of Investigations Ross Shire, and retired Platoon Chief Ron Norman. Joseph Benson, August 7th, 2019. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his son, retired Fire Captain Murray Benson. Kenneth Jansen, October 3rd, 2019. Ringing the bell on the family's behalf will be the memorial, and accepting this memorial flag will be his grandson, Station Captain Blair Dorval. George L., October 14th, 2019. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his daughter, Sherry. Robert Weiss, January 11th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his son, Jason, and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Linda. Pat White, January 29th, 2020. Ringing the bell on the family's behalf will be the Memorial Society, and accepting the flag will be his widow, Donna. Laurie Kvist, February 22nd, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his daughter, Cheryl Scarlett, and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Patsy. Gordon Killert, March 9th, 2020. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his son, Daryl. Dugald Clark, March 28th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be the Memorial Society, and accepting the flag on accepting the flag from the Memorial Society will be his son, Ethan. Roger Jenkins, April 5th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his granddaughter, Andrea, and accepting the memorial flag will be his daughter, Kathy. Russell Thorne, June 6, 2020. Ringing the bell on behalf of the family will be the Memorial Society, and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Eunice. George Paris, June 12th, 2020. Ringing the bell on the family's behalf will be the Memorial Society, and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Marion. George Brown, July 29th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be the Memorial Society on his behalf, and accepting the memorial flag in lieu of family members. Roger Lawson, August 9th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his daughter, Lindsay, and accepting the memorial flag will be his son, Tyler. James Flanagan, August 23rd, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his daughter Robin and grandson Max. Accepting the memorial flag will be his widow Jeanette. Laurie Shaw, September 9th, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his brother Walter and sister Sandy. Accepting the memorial flag will be his widow Gwen. Robert Neal, October 26, 2020. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his son, Robert Neal. Kim Henry, October 26, 2020. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Happiness. William May, December 21st, 2020. Ringing the bell will be his sister Debbie, and receiving the memorial flag will be his widow Margaret. John Millard, January 4th, 2021. Ringing the bell, his brother-in-law Ray, and accepting the memorial flag will be his sister Teresa. Norman Rochat, January 8th, 2021. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be the memorial. Dinty Moore, February 23rd, 2020. Ringing the bell and accepting the flag will be the memorial. Murray Schill, March 7th, 2021. Ringing the bell and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Donna. William King, March 30th, 2021. Ringing the bell will be Bill's paramedic partner, retired training captain Gwen McDonald. And accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Brenda. Walter Chipchar, April 6th, 2021. Ringing the bell will be his granddaughter, Eileen, and accepting the memorial flag will be his granddaughter, Samantha. Doug Robinson, May 24th, 2021. Ringing the bell on the family's behalf will be the Memorial Society, and accepting the memorial flag will be his widow, Judy. Keith Verhool, May 24th, 2021. Ringing the bell will be his grandsons, Carter and Cole, and receiving the memorial flag will be his son, Sterling. The members we have lost in the line of duty. December 16th, 1922, Edward Wilson. January 13th, 1940, William Bruce. October 7th, 1948, Robbie Robinson. April 22nd, 1951, Pete Bowen. June 14th, 1963, Robert Vint. December 3rd, 1964, Ray Brackenbury. August 15th, 1976, Ralph Hopp. August 15th, 1976, Murray Clark. March 6th, 1990, Mike Jetty. May 30th, 1992, John Kopinski. December 23rd, 2002, Les Ashton. May 3rd, 2003, James Griffith. November 23rd, 2003, Randy Borecki. January 18th, 2004, Paul Wyndham. October 28th, 2005, Rick Timchuk. August 19th, 2006, Clark Stevens. September 30th, 2007, Larry Heyman. April 25th, 2008, Stan Nickel. June 20th, 2009, Alex Harris. July 6th, 2009, Bob Chalmers. March 4th, 2010, Luke Pringle. October 20th, 2011, Dick Martin. December 13th, 2011, Al Northrop. February 28th, 2012, Bud Colsey. May 29th, 2012, Tom Kovich. February 20th, 2013, Don Matthews. January 4th, 2014, Joe Humanuk. June 12th, 2014, Albert D'Agostini. July 2nd, 2015, Eddie Paul. April 1st, 2015, Marcel Iampan. September 17th, 2016, Bob McGill. June 8th, 2016, Ken Chalopé. June 30th, 2016, John Claver. September 10th, 2017, Andy Boyd. February 25th, 2018, Evan McDonald. August 26th, 2018, Mark Renault. September 27th, 2018, Matt Keller. October 3rd, 2018, Harry Timinski. December 27th, 2018, Elmer Benning. April 11th, 2020, Mike Sokoluk.
I would now like to call upon Reverend John Dowds to say a prayer for the fallen, followed by the sounding of the last alarm and a moment of silence. This silence will be broken by a piper playing Amazing Grace in their remembrance. After John Dowds finishes his prayer, we ask that any seated, uniformed members stand for the moment of silence and follow the direction of the Sergeant Major.
Ready! Active! Done! Gun! Hold! Out! Ready! Will remove headdress! Remove headdress!
I've had the privilege of being the chaplain for fire rescue starting into my 16th year now. So this is the 16th year I've been present for this memorial event. And to say it is an honor to be present with all of you, the words can't actually describe the honor that I feel. And also to listen to some of the names today and people I knew and remembered and had the privilege of walking alongside during their careers, and in some cases during the challenges of their lives. So it is a privilege to be here with all of you today to remember, to celebrate, to give thanks, and to recognize such incredible contributions that have been made. So I'm going to offer a prayer now. I know that in this world in which we live, we have a whole variety of traditions and expressions and spiritual thoughts and so forth. So if it is your tradition to follow along and to join in this prayer in that way, please do so. If not, then seize the opportunity to reflect and to give thanks and to remember that together we walk through this world supported by those who love us and those who care for us and who protect us. Let us pray. O Holy One, hear our prayers. Today, in the midst of so many emotions, we give thanks for the very precious gift of life and for those who love us, those who care for us and support us and protect us. And today especially, we remember with deep and enduring, lasting gratitude firefighters who have died during the course of the last year and over past years. We give thanks for and remember their courage and determination, their willingness to take risks for the sake of others, their commitment to serve regardless of the cost, rushing into danger others are desperately trying to escape, being exposed to situations of great tragedy and pain that in turn can cause them distress and pain, both physical and psychological. And we thank you that they live on in the strong memories we have of them. They live on as we gather together here today to remember them. But within our gratitude, there is, of course, a deep sense of loss. The lives we remember were very much a part of other lives. They were spouses and partners, parents and grandparents, siblings, uncles, friends, fellow firefighters, citizens of our respective communities. They cared for others and they received care. They looked out for others and others looked out for them. They offered and they received a helping hand. They gave and they received love. So much a part of our lives and our communities they were, that the loss that is felt is great. God of strength and love, surround all who mourn with your comfort, your strength and peace. Support them through the presence of your Spirit in whatever way we understand that to be, and through the love and compassion of family and friends and fellow firefighters. And into your eternal realm, O gracious one, have been sent the firefighters we remember. They served well. They've answered their last call. May they rest in peace. These are our prayers. Amen.
Replace! Headdress!
Retired Captain Fire Investigator Ed Rostalski will now lead the laying of the wreaths in remembrance of our fallen firefighters.
On behalf of the Edmonton Firefighters Memorial Society, Justin Atkinson and Craig Filowich will take the wreath and lay it at the statue. On behalf of Edmonton Fire Rescue, Acting Fire Chief Brad Kittiak. On behalf of City Council, Mayor Iveson. City Manager Andre Gorbeau. On behalf of Edmonton Firefighters Union, Greg Raymond. On behalf of the Edmonton Police Service, Acting Police Chief Ken Brzezinski. On behalf of EMS, Executive Director Graham McAllister. On behalf of the federal government, MP for Edmonton Strathcona, Heather McPherson. On behalf of the provincial government, MLA for Edmonton Strathcona, Rachel Notley. On behalf of the Edmonton Fire Department Retirees Brigade, Retired District Chief Pat Martin, and Retired District Chief Don Chernowski. And if there's anyone else that wishes to lay any wreaths or flowers, you're more than welcome to come up at this time. Thank you very much.
So before we conclude today, I'd like to touch quickly on the recent vandalism that took place at our plaza and on the bell tower. Obviously, someone felt the need to take our plaques, obviously not thinking about the impact it would have on the families of those whose names are on the plaques and on our community. I would like to thank all the community members who stepped forward to help us through donations to replace our tower plaques with something much bigger and better with which to honor our members. Although we wanted them replaced by today, our friends at Barron's Bronze are making something that will be well worth the wait. We hope to have our bell tower back to its befitting condition by mid to end of October. I would also like to note that tonight the high-level bridge will be lit in red in remembrance of our fallen. This concludes our ceremony for today, but first we would like to thank all of the members of the Edmonton Firefighters Memorial Society, Rob Cavell, Brian Ricks, Jared Belanger, David Fenwick, Travis Bilo, Tyler Chernowski, Justin Atkinson, Craig Filowich, Jesse Kolchitsky, and Ed Rostolski. I would like to thank the Edmonton Firefighters Honor Guard, the Edmonton Firefighters Pipes and Drums, our own Edmonton Fire Department members who have taken the time to be here, and for all of the other departments that have shown up, including the other guards, honor guards, and department members. We would also like to give a big thank you to the TransAlta Arts Barns and the Old Strathcona Farmers Market for their support. Sergeant Major, please march off the guard.
Parade! Attention! Go! Hold! Run! Axe-bearers, stand fast! Go! Move to the right! Right! Left! Line of center! Quick! Mount! Parade! To your duties! Dismissed!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.